Well, it's a mess in here. Trying to make it better. It's finally a free Saturday with like more than 2 consecutive hours. Almost didn't know what to do with myself, but I'm doing that. I am basically finally getting the frickin' icon out of the middle of the shop, which basically took the span right there between the gantry crane and made it to where I couldn't do jack anything with the vehicle in here. And I have got it basically pivoted. And what I was going to always do, I thought I was going to have to deconstruct that shelf, and I've moved everything off of it and had it ready to tear down, and I had no clue where everything on those shelves was going to go. And finally I thought, you know, the easiest thing I could do would be park the box in front of it. I did some math. Seemed like everything was going to line up back here. I don't really ever have vehicles, but that's pallet rack. I've got some tons and tons of parts. And a lot of the parts will ultimately go back in vehicles. You know, there's like a taillight panel, a center console, taillight, all kinds of stuff. I just found some extra space down there. I'm putting some radiators I have. And bottom line, this will swivel back. Things may stay modular for a while, and what I mean by that is like not permanently affixed. This locker, I'd already forcibly been tasked with kind of populating it, and what I mean by that is just basically getting stuff off of shelves and into here. It's not full by any means, but it's got stuff in it. Subsequently, it hinges on the left side, so it opens like this. One of my pet peeves is things not being symmetrical, right? So if we have this locker swung over here and the door opens like this, I do not want the locker over here to open like that. I want it to mirror what that one does and open out. So this one, since it has a little bit of stuff in it and has been built, is going to stay as is, which means this guy is not. I was like, man, I was looking for some wrenches. I couldn't find them. I was like, where the heck did I put them? Finally found them, but I thought they were in here, so I just recently took the keys out of the bag that dangles right there, got them in, and this is what this looks like shipped. I'm doing this for a good reason. This is really what sold me on the Icon line. It is the locker. The lockers are fantastic in my opinion. I know the Series 2 US Generals are a significant step up. This is nice. I nearly bought these, I don't know how many times, just the lockers. And I didn't because I didn't really have space in here. And I still don't really, but I've kind of found a workaround. Everything lined up. I'm not sure what all I've recorded, but the coupons lined up like perfectly with my birthday. I considered it a sign from above, pulled the trigger, and this is essentially a birthday present to myself type of a thing. And the delivery was a nightmare, absolute nightmare. The setup, it involved me calling a buddy and paying him $200 for a Bobcat and some other friends and lifting it, and then it's just kind of been stuck here. Crippling my productivity. And this one, since it's going to go over there, since it has nothing, I thought, hey, since this is what really sold me on Icon, let's build this thing out together and do some extras. The extra number one is, if you look right here, you'll see a lot of pre-drilled holes, right, all along this side. So when I take you over here, you are going to see an awful lot of screws. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 screws. Fairly significant amount of weight must be, right? And that is correct. And subsequently, all those screws need to come out so the door can come off and can go here. The way that's going to work, of course, is door is off, door flips, does a somersault, and goes there. Obviously it's off the ground a little bit. The way these come, they've got like swivel casters. These move so much easier than the toolbox, and kind of training wheels. You're supposed to take those off. I'm not going to, because again, I kind of think for the sake of me accessing that shelf unit, which I don't plan to do often, but will need to do from time to time, it's going to be super easy for me if I can kind of like just swing this out, get what I need, push everything back, okay? At some point in time, I'd love to have it all permanently attached. Scary sounds. But yeah, for now, that's kind of what we're doing. The other bonus item, I want you to pay attention here. This key, you get 2 keys with every cylinder, and everything is keyed differently. I ordered all of these at the same time. It doesn't matter. You can't request it. You can, however, buy keys. And when you do that, which drawer is it? Right here. Okay. You're going to get a setup like that, and ultimately like this. Okay. I went for the 15 locks. I've got big plans for the future. Okay. And this has a red master key. This thing is pretty cool. This is so much easier than I thought it would be. I figured this would be a pain in the butt. This lock I have switched, and I have switched the hutch. And by doing that, everything is keyed the same. I don't have to have, in this particular instance, we would need 4 different keys. I will need 1, and I'll have a lot of backups safe. So, I'm going to show you that as well. I'm going to try to set something up to kind of catch the door. I don't know how heavy the door is going to be, and don't want to damage it. So we're going to try to set that up, get it going. But again, I'll kind of walk you through the setup process there as well. Alright, so the way this thing works, if you count the grids here, you've got 4, 8, 12, 16. This is 15 keys. You're thinking, hey, you got ripped off, buddy. Well, keep in mind, we've installed these 2. What this had, with this just empty bubble wrap, goes with that key right there. That is a master key. We're going to come over to our next available. We're going to roll that out. You will see a key in a cylinder, okay? That is essentially going to just plug itself in. Yeah, it's a super cool setup. So I'm going to take this master key, the red one, kind of like a Hellcat, and we're going to walk over. I actually haven't done the other locker, so we'll do it first. But this basically just extracts the lock cylinder. Alright, so this is my left locker, the one we have a little bit of stuff in. As you can see, locked, unlocked. And what we're going to do now is take away this key. It is going over here. I've got the red key in hand, and we're simply going to line that up and check that out. It's that easy. All right, so I grabbed a knockoff box of pig mat because I'm cheap. But, it was close, and then I put a piece of plywood to kind of just extend the surface area. But I figured before we do the lock, well, I'll go ahead and get the hinge off, so I'm not sure if I'm going to go power or old school. Alright, so this went just about as poor as you would imagine. Not super thrilled with the quality of the screws. They were also stupid tight. But we have a problem, and it's not that the magnet, okay, did a good deed and captured that screw for us. No, it is one screw fell, and I literally watched it rim around and drop into an oval slot. I can't see it. I have no idea how we're going to extract that. And yeah, I think 2 more fell. I was trying to leave the screws. I tried to get like a 2.5 turns or so and start them so I would have adjustment to get it dialed in. As the door, like I'm basically using my foot, as a jack. And as I would do that, one time the door popped and it just jacked 2 screws out. So I'm going to go try to find 1 or 2, maybe just 1, and then fish that out. So wish me luck. Alright, so as I'm jacking this with my foot again to try and get something back in the bottom, I kid you not, the second to the top screw falls straight. I mean, didn't rim, didn't do anything, just straight into that orifice. I can actually see that one. I don't know if I have a magnet that small. I'm hoping. Okay, I heard it. Let me get the camera there, hopefully. Hallelujah. Okay, this is the one that fell straight down from the second slot, and I see nothing else, but I'm just gonna go fishing, so wish me luck. Alright, so we're missing 1, 2, 3. As you can see, got lucky in the fishing hole again. We've got 1, 2, 3. The problem is there's that one all the way at the top. Second from the top that ejected itself. I did retrieve it, but we're technically missing 4 screws. I've combed the area and I'm coming up empty. I don't know, there's kind of something I see in there, but I think it's a weld. So we're only missing 1, and I guess I'll try to proceed. So wish me luck. We'll see if we find something else. Can't remember if I mentioned my blue masking tape solution there to keep that from ever happening again, but as I was sitting there and I thought, you know, I heard metal on metal and I tried fishing again, nothing came up. Shine the light back in there and I don't think you'll be able to see it. You can. There's the last one. So we've recovered everything. I don't care, it's blurry. I don't have a free hand, but I'm gonna get a magnet, get that thing out. We're home free on the screw count. Well, with all the screws back, the end goal is to just not have to lift that with my foot anymore. So we're gonna do it this way. Perfect. Alright, so sometimes you have to work smarter and not harder, and that's what we're trying to do. The good news is the plywood is a beautiful fit for the entire door. I'll be able to kind of spin this on and off and kind of get it positioned as best I can as a one-man show. So again, we've recovered every screw and we now have the one from the top as well. So I want to say your height adjustment is everything between the top and the bottom, which seems to be your in and out. So very bottom, side to side like this, top, side to side, everything in between them up and down. So right now it's not shutting, and obviously when you got 3 to 4 more screws to go, we're going to get those in place, try to dial this thing in with the transmission jack. Alright, so using the floor jack, I want to show you just how good this works. The screw is super easy to start, but coming up, again, this is the guy that just straight down into the frame of the locker. Look how good that's lined up right there. Camera's kind of doing it no justice, but little jack did a nice job. I'm optimistic I'll lower the jack, check the swing, and then tighten everything down, but I think we should be close. Alright, so heroes of the hour there, but check this out. Yeah, pretty good. Seam side to side here between the stainless trim, very nice. This gap is actually like dead on, but I feel like it kind of, is it? If it's not dead on, it's just slightly tapered here, but I feel like it's a bigger gap than we have at the bottom. Now, a normal person, oh yeah, it's significantly bigger than we have at the bottom. So what that tells me is ideally, I would raise the door a little. And, it's actually, that's like a super tight gap down there. So it definitely has some play going up. We just have to decide if we want to do that or not. I think I do, because that's what I do. I try to make things good. Alright, so she's slightly more aligned. I'm content with it. Still shuts good, has an even seam on the side. The thing we want to do now is address the fact that this is one of 4 pieces, and it is one of 4 unique locks. That cylinder there is standalone. Only this locker is unlocked by that key that I have sitting over there. So we need to extract it, and the way we're going to do that is with this guy, the Icon Master Key. Alright, so we come in and we shut down. Now, I should point out, typically, you know, we got to realize we just flipped this door completely. Alright, so it's like flipped. Right there, the 4-digit code on your lock cylinder, that is typically on the left. That's how I've always kind of lined these up. However, with the master key on a flipped door, it is in the right. Okay, so we just extracted this, and we're going to come over to the Icon, and we're going to grab ourselves from this box the next piece that we need, which is right here. Again, these are all key-like everything from that box. And essentially, all we need to do is stick this in. Now, I'm torn if I want it mirrored, or if I want it the same, or if it has to go only one way. So without the tripod here, I'm going to play around with that and see, and I will report back. And second thought, I'll just take you with me. So again, this is the master key. All I've done is place it inside the key to lock deal. And we're going to set that in, and I've got it actually with the numbers on the inside. And I'm going to attempt to hold that. And yeah, we are home free. So case in point, we're going to take this guy back and get the new key from the cylinder. Right now, the door is unlocked. If I take this in and turn it, we are locked. Now, if that bothers me, I can flip it again. It's kind of, do you want it mirrored or, exactly the same? But it is what it is. And we now have 4 key to light components: left side, right side, toolbox, and the hutch. Pretty cool. All right, so now that we've got the door flipped, the door aligned to our liking, the door key to lock, let's go ahead and open it back up, and we're going to see everything that is inside. So the way they ship, again, you basically have this bag tied to that, although it was tied on the flip side because we somersaulted the door. But right here, shelf units. Okay, we've got them. If we take a look here, we're going to have to cut this strapping to access the first drawer. There's actually 4, 3, 2, and 1. One's black pull is covered here by this nylon banding. In drawer 2, this is the entire roll of drawer liners. All right, so that's going to fill those out if you decide to go with them. Right here, I believe we've got the push bar. Don't hold me to that. We'll open it up in a second. Down here, it's more than just a styrofoam filler. This is going to be your short shelf. What I mean by that, this would be a long shelf. So in theory, if you had your long shelf positioned here, your top would be there. You get the idea. But I'm going to go ahead and cut everything open, kind of show it to you as it was, and then we'll get it situated in the locker. Of course, somewhere in there, I think sandwiched, if memory serves me correct, you'll have your shelf brackets. So we'll kind of go over that too. All right, so the bottom drawer is emptied out, and what it had is 2 drawers, actually, or 2 shelves, I should say. They're going to be the same width, same length. They're basically going to be your 18 inchers. That one is like 21 to 22, so it's going to come out to the edge of the locker. These others will recess in just a little. But that is the bottom drawer. I'm going to go ahead and open drawer 2, and we're going to get these drawer liners out, line that, line this, and be ready for the next. All right, so there's our liners. Again, the top 2, the inside 2, however you roll them out, they're going to be smaller. They'll be for your short shelves. Right here, the drawers. We've got drawer 2, which only had the liners covered. We've got drawer 4, the bottom, covered. And now drawer 3, we'll go ahead and open this up. All right, so drawer 3's box is the brackets for the shelf. Your short shelf, you're going to see we've got a left LL, and then on your right you have an RR. Obviously align that accordingly in the locker. The other slightly longer ones, of course, are for the longer shelf, and since they're equilateral in length, it's kind of a catch-22 there. Also in the box is a screwdriver holder. Not sure you can tell what that is, but again, slots, whatever you want to call that, is present as well here on the locker. Obviously, you're kind of limited depending on how you orient everything. Like, you couldn't put the screwdriver holder at the bottom. You'd need it to coincide with an empty area. But nice to see nonetheless. And hopefully they interchange with the stainless hutch. So before going ahead and putting our shelves in place, I thought it'd be a good idea to get drawer 1 accessible and the bottom out. In part, I think there's some extra hardware and gear tucked in between there. So let me grab a knife and we'll check that out. All right, so long shelf out of there. Again, typically that'd be the bottom, but you can orient this however you like. We now have the straps cut. We can lift this up. And here's what we've got. We've got 2 boxes, styrofoam placeholder, some addendum sheets for your notebook, and 2 mystery boxes, which again, I think it's a can holder and some other sort of accessory. But we'll open them up, check them out, and see what we got. All right, so that is our 4 drawers. 4, 3, 2, 1. One now open. Went ahead and put the liner in. If you're curious what was inside, it was 2 can holders. I was trying to think what the other accessory would have been. It was just a second can holder. So we're now down to a big shelf, short shelves, a big drawer liner, or shelf liner, we should say, 2 short shelf liners, and the brackets along with our little wall accessories. So at this point in time, you can see why your big shelf is probably best to go here. Now granted, if you had like bulky items, say you wanted to store, I don't know, anise, like just hold 2 boxes of it or something, or packing tape or something along those lines, and you needed taller clearance, you could do it. It would just kind of look funny. But again, functionality over aesthetics in that case. But I think for me, I'll go ahead and max it out, kind of put it there, try to keep what's in these drawers limited, and then portion the smaller shelves up top. I will tell you at this point in time, all of this is interchangeable. If you get these and you're rolling with them, you're like, man, I love those drawers, I wish the whole thing was drawers. You can order the rails, you can order the drawers, and you can fill this whole thing, okay, with these drawers. If you just bought 2 to go with your box, kind of like I did, and you decided like, hey, I'd like one to be all drawers, pull out, maybe you're doing like your hardware section, you know, cotter pins, threaded rod, bolts, nuts, all that type of a thing, parts, whatever it might be, gaskets, you name it. You could do this. Gaskets, always hard to find a good place to store them. The bigger they are, the more cumbersome, right? They need to be flat. So picture a locker full of drawers, right? Now, you took the 4 drawers out of your other locker to fill this up, bought a couple more. Now picture another locker full of shelves, right? One of the things that baffles me, I really wish they had a rod accessory. And what I mean by that is literally like treat this as a closet, okay? If we just had a pole, a beam that would run side to side where you could hang like your welding gear or coveralls or, you know, what have you. Maybe a dress shirt in case important people show up you need to impress or something. But I think that would actually be a really good accessory. You will note this is vented. We also have holes. Those holes are for cords. A lot of times what guys wind up doing is liking their locker for a charging station, or maybe you've just got crud tons. Maybe you're like a contractor, you just have a million Milwaukee or DeWalt or whatever battery platform batteries. You can set this up however you like, however suits you, but sort of with the modular nature, it's just 100% customizable. But in this case, we're going to keep it relatively balanced for now, so shelf close to the bottom, and then the other 2 staggered out, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like when we're done. Failure clip, right? Why are you recording this? Nothing has changed. Actually, it has. And what I've done, these are the long, full-length brackets, and I just took it out. If you'll note, you've got a hook here, you've got a hook there. They're going to be spaced with this long pattern. So these rectangles here that you see at the forwardmost edge, and the rectangles that you see at the rearmost edge. So case in point, I'll try to do this one-handed. You can see that's lining up here, that's lining up there. Of course, I need to lower it, so pay attention. Once again, that's it. So shelf is simply going to slide in place. We'll put a liner. We have that covered up now. And it's just the sky is the limit. If you wanted the big shelf about here and the small ones underneath it, or don't want the small, it is all up to you. You could store nitrous bottles in here, for goodness sake, all right? And you could just rig up chain between them. Sky's the limit, whatever you want to do. I'm going to be pretty vanilla with this one, and we're just going to set it up so I can move it. Alright, so drawers 4 through 1. Big shelf right there covering that up again. We'll put a liner in. Why am I filming? To show you these, the brackets. You'll note R corresponding with the right side of our locker. And here we've got the L corresponding with the left side. Note the position of these. They're hooking into those slots. And again, anywhere you see it, you can position these things. The shelf, very, very sturdy, the way it kind of tucks down around that. But yeah, I'll get the liner in, the other 2 shelves, and we'll look at the finished product. And so there it is, the fully assembled, now right-hand side locker from Icon. Again, this is what sold me on the entire Icon setup, so that's saying a lot. It's a significant chunk of money. Yes, it's a good value, it's a good bargain, lower price than similar things elsewhere, but it's still, in my opinion, a significant chunk of money, even with stacking coupons and discounts. And this is genuinely 100% what sold me on the entire thing was these lockers. So there it is. We have it. Somersaulted door, flipped, key to like, whole 9 yards. We can lock her. Not sure what more we would want. Obviously, another tip if you haven't figured it out, lock this. Just trust me, if you try to do that door swap with that in place, you will regret it quickly. Like I said, there would be more to it. Handles, attaching, all that stuff, but we're just going to keep everything sort of modular for now. So I'm going to roll this thing into place and call it a day. But again, that is literally what sold me on the Icon lockers. Icon toolbox line is that locker. So thrilled to finally have it, excited to put it to use, and hopefully you found this video helpful and informative. If you enjoyed it, you know the drill. Leave a like, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. If you got questions on the thing, if you've already pulled the trigger, if you're a huge fan of Icon, hate Icon, whatever, feel free to sound off in the comments. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all three at Lone Star Mopars. There's a look at the back side of one if you're curious what you'd kind of be up against. But yeah, if you have not subscribed, I encourage you to do so. If you do that, you ring the bell, YouTube just might notify you. We have new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, 9 a.m. Texas time. With that said, thanks so much for watching, and I hope I catch you back here for more action from the shop.